Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you are. Thank you for taking time to join us live at Mercury Hackathon opening ceremony, which is hosted by Filecoin, IPFS, and Flow. We would also like to thank our hackathon partners, Angel Hack and CryptoSoul, who have assisted Tribe in reaching out to all the awesome people who have joined us today. So as I mentioned earlier on, we do have a quick ice-breaking activities that's going to happen later on. What you can do right now is actually to scan the QR code on the bottom right of the screen to access Mentimeter via your mobile. If you are accessing via your web browser, you can key in the URL of www.menti.com and enter the code 77374036 to access the activity as well. Before we begin, I'd like to welcome two of our hosts, Discordian Ecosystem Growth for Protocol Labs and Nick Kalyani, co-founder and CEO of Decentology, who will be giving welcome address to Kickstart Hackathon. First, let us welcome Discordian.
Hey everyone, I am Discordian from Protocol Labs. Excited to be here for Mercury Hackathon 2021, all about NFTs. Briefly, IPFS is a decentralized storage and data communication protocol, which allows data to be distributed quickly and easily. Filecoin is built on top of IPFS and ensures longevity for data through Filecoin deals. Used together, they can be a powerful force for an individual or team looking to, sorry, I just lost my notes for a second there. It could be a powerful force for an individual or team looking to decentralize their data. We have prize tracks available involving IPFS and Filecoin as well. Track 1 for the best use of Filecoin and Flow used in combination. Then we also have track 2, which is the best use for Filecoin and or IPFS. I highly recommend the following decentralized storage services as well: Web3.storage, Estuary, Slate, and or nft.storage. These tools will help you build your app on both IPFS and Filecoin quickly and easily. That's it for me. If you have any questions, I'll be available for the duration of the hackathon as a mentor along with the other experts. I look forward to hearing from you. And now an intro from Nick.
Thanks, Discordian. Hi, everyone. I'm Nick Kalyani, co-founder and CEO of Decentology. We are proud to represent Flow blockchain as the technology partner for this hackathon. Now, Flow is the blockchain for creators. It brings several amazing innovations to the world, including the Cadence programming language that makes it very easy for developers to create safe, performant, and efficient smart contracts. Flow introduces many innovations for smart contract development while delivering a great user experience. Flow is the platform on which some of today's most amazing and successful decentralized apps like NBA Top Shot are built. And looking back at this hackathon, I'm sure we will see it as the launch point of even more incredible Flow applications. Now, a little bit about my company. Decentology's mission is to onboard 10 million developers to blockchain by addressing the hardest part, getting started. Our platform, dAppStarter, generates a brand new GitHub repository for you with a full stack source code for a Flow project. You get all the smart contract code, unit tests, and UI harness. It includes all the orchestration for running the Flow emulator, generating test accounts, compiling and deploying contracts, starting up a web app, and hot loading all of this. For this hackathon, we are really proud to also announce that we have added full IPFS client integration for Flow apps. So with dAppStarter, you can have a running Flow application with IPFS support on your computer in less than 5 minutes. At this hackathon, we are also proud to announce the Hyperverse. This is an open platform Decentology is creating to make it easy in the future for developers to build using composable smart contracts. You'll hear much more about Hyperverse in the coming weeks, especially during the almost daily office hours hosted by the amazing Decentology staff. Speaking of which, the office hours are here to help you make the most progress as efficiently as possible. Please do take advantage of them. Now, hackathons are about dreaming big and helping us see your vision of a better, more efficient, equitable, and excellent world. Here are 3 pieces of advice I have for you as you start hacking. Solve a real problem. The most successful hackathon entries are ones that address a real pain point. Innovation, not perfection. Focus on building the parts that make us see and understand your vision. Mock up the things we already know and spend your time on your unique value proposition. Leaps, not hops. Don't go for an incremental 1% improvement on an app that we've already seen. Go for 100%, 1,000%, even 10,000%. Go big. Flow Blockchain and Decentology are excited to welcome you to this hackathon. We are here to support, encourage, and cheer you on. We wish you the best and hope you have an amazing time learning, building, and innovating. Happy hacking. Back to you, Justin.
Thank you, Discordian and Nick, for the welcome address. And for those who have arrived earlier on, you will actually have the opportunity to contribute to our quick ice-breaking activity. For those who just joined us, don't worry about it. What you can do right now is access the Icebreaker activity via 2 ways. One of it is to use your mobile phone and scan the QR code that you see on the slide right now, and to answer the questions that you have seen. The other method, if you're using a web browser, is to enter the URL www.menti.com and key in the code 77374036 to join us. Note that the activity is actually self-paced, so please feel free to complete all 4 questions that you see while we moved on to the inputs. So let's bring up the first question. We will have the simplest question of all. It's tell me, how are you feeling today? What you see on your mobile phone screen or the web browser, please feel free to key in any of the word that kind of describe how you're feeling today. We're seeing things like awesome, great, it's good, fantastic, perfect, superb. Well, there's a lot of never better. That's even better as well. Do feel free to put in how you feel. And let's move on to the next question. The next most straightforward question, apart from asking how you're feeling today, where you are from. So tell me where you are from. You can put in the city that you are from. You can put in the country, whichever that you feel comfortable with. We see that we have quite a fair bit of people from India, from Singapore. We have Korea, nice. We have Malaysia, Indonesia. We have Pakistan, wow, London, Japan. We have people from many, many countries as well. Great. And the next part, is it your first time joining a hackathon? With the number of people we have, it looks like it's almost a 50-50 breakout, with almost 50% of the people being their first time joining the hackathon. Hopefully this will be a great experience for you being your first hackathon. For those who it's not the first time joining the hackathon, welcome back. And hopefully this will be something that you can build amazing projects as well. Next up, we'd like to see in terms of your experience level as a developer, what is your experience level? We have quite the majority of people who have been a developer for a period of time. And wow, those who have started not too long ago. And we do have quite a huge chunk of people who have just began their journey as a developer. It's great. For those who are not yet a developer, happy to actually have you join in to participate and to experience what the hackathon really is. Thank you everyone for doing this quick icebreaker game. And just moving on a little bit, why are we here today? Apart from why we are here today while joining a hackathon is really to get you all up to speed on all the information about Mercury Hackathon that you should know before hacking begins. So quickly going through Mercury Hackathon, first of all, it is a 6-week virtual hackathon that aims to bring talented creators around the world, which is you, by the way, to innovate and redefine the boundaries for decentralized storage networks and NFTs. In this hackathon, we have 3 distinct tracks where you can choose from before selecting a challenge statement that you would like to work on. First up is track one, which is Filecoin and Flow integration. Basically, this track allows you to integrate Filecoin and Flow's decentralized storage technology with NFTs. What you see on the right side, there is a price pool up to 61,000 USD in Flow and Filecoin tokens up for grabs. All these various challenge statements are something that you can consider when you are attempting this track itself. And the key winner for each of this challenge will have approximately of USD $8,000 in Flow and Filecoin tokens, whereas second place will have approximately 5,000 USD worth, and the third place for best combined use of Filecoin and Flow projects will get 3,000 USD worth of Filecoin and Flow tokens. Moving on to track two, we have the challenge on the best use of Filecoin and or IPFS and or the following decentralized storage services. Two winners will be selected from this challenge, where each winner will walk away with approximately USD $7,500 worth of Filecoin tokens. Next, we have the third track that focuses on the best implementation of blockchain-enabled application built on Flow across consumer-facing NFT dApps, creator-oriented services, crypto primitives with Decentology tools, and more. One winner will be selected from each of the challenge statements you see out there, walking away with approximately USD $7,500 worth of Flow tokens per category as well. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at the event schedule, where we have an exciting list of activities lined up for you. Let's take a look at key community events for the entire 6 weeks itself. We have today's opening ceremony and a special project sharing, which will take place later on. We have Built with Mercury workshop on a special hands-on technical workshop for you to get exposed to building on Filecoin and Flow's infrastructure. A virtual networking will take place on the 16th of October, where more details will be shared on our Slack channel. Pitching workshop will take place on the 23rd of October, and we will be sharing with you tips on how you can work on your pitching video, which is part of the project submission requirements. And of course, we have the deadline for submissions on the 31st of October, Sunday at 11:55 Singapore time, 9:25 p.m. IST, 5:55 p.m. Central European Time, and 11:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please take note of this as well. Weekly events happening on weekdays are Flow Developer Hour, which will happen on every Monday to Fridays, except for today, and all Wednesdays, while our Mentor Office Hours will be taking place on every Wednesdays. If you have yet saved the Hackathon event calendar, you may want to scan the QR code that's on the screen right now using your mobile phone, where you can load and save the calendar to yours. If you have trouble saving the calendar via the QR code, don't worry about it. You will be able to find the same Hackathon event calendar on your participants guide as well. Moving on, team formation goes on throughout the entire hacking period. And if you're looking for a team to join or have formed your team along the way, here are some information that you should take note of. Firstly, if you are looking for a team to join the team, follow the steps via the free agents directory section on the participants guide, where you click register to join an existing team on your profile. Complete the form and ensure that your profile no longer appear on the free agents directory after having to click save as well. If your team is fully formed during the hacking period, what you can do is to access the team's directory via the participants guide to update your team status. What you can do is to click on update team profile under your team name. Follow the steps that you see in the form to ensure that your team status has been updated to my team is fully formed. If you have joined the team but realize that you happen to be on a different team still from your teammates, what likely is happening is that you might have misspelled your team name. So what you can do is go on to the team's directory via the participant guide, search for your name and click on update team name to retype the team name. Do ensure that you have spelled the team name correctly and also in the right capitalization as it is case sensitive when it comes to your team name as well. Lastly, if you have changed your mind and would like to join another team, simply search for your name on the team's directory, click on change team, follow the steps to join another team, and you're all set. With all the above mentioned scenarios, please ensure that you're only selecting yourself when making the changes, and the above mentioned scenarios can also be found on your participants guide. Now with that out of the way, it's a perfect time to introduce to you our pool of mentors who will be guiding you throughout the hacking period. These are the mentors who have committed their time in helping you with your projects during the 6 weeks period. You may read more information about them on the participants guide as well. So how can you reach your mentors? There are a few ways that you can do so. One, you can book a slot to speak with one of the mentors during the mentors office hours on every Wednesday. You can drop any of the mentors DMs or questions in the mentors channel on the Hackathon Slack channel as well. Outside of the mentors office hours, if you have any specific questions with regards to your project. Please note that any DMs or messages on the mentors channel will not be immediate in terms of responses, but the mentors will do their best to get back to you as soon as possible. Similarly, if you have not joined our Hackathon Slack, do scan the QR code that you see over there on the page, and you can similarly find the link to join the Hackathon Slack channel from the participants guide as well. So mentors office hours happen on every Wednesday, and before Wednesday hits, we highly encourage you to access the booking system to book a slot with a mentors of your choice. Access to the booking system can be found on the mentor section of the participants guide, and detailed instructions are listed down there on how you can book a slot with the access link to the system as well. So what we will encourage you to do is to identify a team leader within the team where he or she will make the arrangement by putting on your team name and the team leader's email address as well to the earliest available time slot of any of the mentors of your choice. So after having to set it up on the booking system, team leaders, please send a meeting invite to the said mentor so that an appointment can be locked in on the mentor's calendar as well. Please note that every slot is 20 minutes and team leaders are responsible in setting up the meeting invite once a slot is being booked. Coming up, we have an esteemed panel of judges who are a part of the hackathon. These are the panel of your projects that you have submitted towards the end of the hacking period. Similarly, information about all these judges can be found on the participants guide as well. Each project will be assessed by the following 6 criteria, namely design, novelty, technical complexity, mass usability, creativity, and social. Each criteria will be rated on a scale of 0 to 5, giving a total score of 30 points for each individual projects. Now, for your project to be considered for scoring, please make sure that your team has submitted the following artifacts: project description, a 3-minute video of you pitching about your project, a GitHub repo link, a list of tech stack used, and a project demo link. Please note that these artifacts are mandatory for submission, and these are all critical for judging. So what happens? So what's the process of submission? Each team will need to appoint a team leader who will then create an account on the submission platform called Hackathon.io. On the platform itself, our team leader will have to select Mercury Hackathon to join, where he or she will be able to submit the required artifacts on the submission page. So platform will open on 18th of October, and we will actually make an announcement on the Slack channel as well. So do remember to join the Slack channel as well. And submissions are to be made before 31st of October, Sunday, 11:55 p.m. Singapore time, and the respective time zone that we have marked by over there as well. So do take note that fresh code rules apply for this hackathon, and I would like to emphasize that only the creation of wireframes, designs, and user flow are allowed before hacking begins, and this includes gathering of data sets as well. All code submitted must be written during the hacking period and only written in languages that's aligned with Filecoin and or depending on the track that you have chosen to attend. So now, introducing the leaderboard. Here are some ways that you can earn points during the hackathon period, of which they will translate to points, and it will be updated on a weekly basis. So simply, as part of the eligibility criteria, you will have to join the Slack channel, and that will easily earn you 10 points as well. Attending any of the community events mentioned earlier on, which is today's opening ceremony, built with Mercury sessions, virtual networking, pitching workshop, are all considered community events as well. And each event contributes 20 points to the leaderboard for you. We do have prepared a list of resources. There's a specially curated learning pathway for you. What you can do is consume the resources, and a quiz will actually be put up later part of the week, which you can attempt. By attempting the quiz, you will have gotten 20 points added to you on the leaderboard, and you have gotten all correct answers on the quiz, you will get an additional 30 points. Take the opportunity to with people who have participated at the hackathon as well by networking on Slack. Each of the actions such as self-introduction, posting of your team photo, or posting of your hacking progress will earn you 10 points each. Do know that only self-introduction and posting a team photo will be awarded once, whereas we will award up to 3 times for posting your hacking progress as well. It's either tag your friends on Mercury with the hashtag of Mercury Hackathon 2021, posts on Angel Hack Instagram, or you can hashtag us by posting on the social media, and each of it will worth 10 points on the leaderboard. Last but not least, if you have submitted a qualified project, you will get 50 points, and by that it means that you have to meet the deadline and you are to submit all the artifacts that has been mentioned earlier on as well. So what do you get for climbing the leaderboard? The top 100 people on the leaderboard will get flow tokens worth $150 worth for each person that is on the top 100 of the leaderboard as well. So do get the opportunity to win something for yourself as well while enjoying the hackathon. So most importantly, remember to have fun along the way and connect with the community. These are the 2 key things that I would like to emphasize while you are building on your project as well, and to network with people. All information from today can be found in the participants guide that was sent to your inbox after registration. Should you not receive any of the emails or you can't find participants guide, do reach out to myself. Either on Slack, this is where my Slack ID is, or you can drop me an email. Harish, who is the platform and community lead at Angel Hack, you can reach out to him on Slack, or anything regards to the hackathon as well. You can direct the questions to him. As a representative for Protocol Labs and Decentology, we have Lucas, Raquel, and Morgan. If you have any questions about the hackathon that you would like to check in with them, or to just kind of like check in with the projects, you can just drop them a message as well if need be. Hold up. Before we close off today's opening ceremony and before we officially kick off hacking, let's invite a special guest who will do a little sharing session as well. He will be sharing a integration of NFT storage and flow together with a demonstration of the project itself. So let's welcome Pan, who is the developer advocate for Filecoin and IPFS. Pan, please.
Oh, hi. Hello, everyone. Pan, I'm a developer advocate at Filecoin. I've been working on a lot of projects at the intersection of art and technology. And recently, I've been very excited about NFTs in general. And I'm very excited to be meeting you all and, to share what I've done here with you. So let me share a screen right now. So I've put together an NFT pet store app built on Flow and NFT storage. And I'm very excited to share it with you and work with you through a small code project so you will become dangerous enough to build your own version of NFT marketplace or any cool Web3 app you can imagine in the next 6 weeks. All right, so here are what we are going to be doing together today. So we will learn what nft.storage is and why it's a perfect match for NFT assets. I will demo FlowWow, an NFT pet store app I created, and explore common functionalities of an NFT marketplace. We will learn how to interact with Flow, contract to mint a pet token. We will learn how to store image assets on Filecoin and IPFS network using NFT storage, JavaScript client library, and display them in your app using its CID or content identifier. However, we won't be touching Flow smart contract language cadence in this session, but you will find great documentation and resource on it on Flow developer portal, whose link will be provided at the end. So we will, however, learn how to interact with cadence using React. Moving on. So here's what you'll need if you are planning to follow along with the live coding fun. First, please clone the template from the given repository. This is a minimal pet store clone that's designed to help you learn the basic of using JavaScript to interact with the cadence, which is provided as part of the template. So you don't have to write any cadence code from scratch. And also download the Flow command line interface tool by following the instructions at the link for the operating system. We will use Flow command line tool to deploy the contract to the emulator, but you can send cadence transactions and scripts outside of JavaScript with it, which is pretty useful for testing and experimenting. And also make sure you install Docker and Docker Compose. Well, this is needed for you to run the emulator and the dev wallet locally so that, they just work so you can focus on the app. And make sure you have Node.js installed, preferably any version above 12.13 should be fine. So you can run your React application without any hassle. Otherwise, all repos will be available to you to self-guide yourself through at your own pace. So have fun with that. Okay, so let's start with the obvious question here. What is NFT storage? So we'll go over that briefly, but feel free to leave any questions as they come up, and I'll do my best to answer them afterward. NFT storage is the free Web2 HTTP gateway to the IPFS and Filecoin network that's made for storing and persisting NFT off-chain data. So what kind of data? Any data that's too heavy to be included on blockchain. You don't want to spend a whole lot of gas fee on synchronizing the data, especially binary data, like photos or videos. NFT storage is very, very good for that. Because your data is stored on the decentralized Filecoin network, it's persistent, even if the NFT storage API service is down. You can very easily call the REST endpoints, very familiar to you, in any client of your language or through NFT storage JavaScript library to store any data. And then you'll receive a content identifier for your data or the CID, which is a label. You can think of a label used to point to your content on the IPFS network. NFT storage is well designed for NFT developers like you, because you want your NFT assets to store for a very, very long time. This is because the value of NFTs lies in the rarity, just like art pieces. So can you imagine buying a very famous Picasso's painting and just hang it in your living room, and it keeps disappearing on rainy days? Your NFT assets must always be reliable in that respect. So in IPFS speak, there must be PIN. So with NFT storage, you can either upload an asset on the web UI, or you can do it with the HTTP client or JavaScript client. After an upload, you get a CID, which you can build a URL that points to the PIN asset. Well, note that some browsers like Brave can browse the asset directly using the IPFS URL. But otherwise, you will need to build a Web2 URL with the CID for other browsers, and for you to display maybe the image in the HTML image tag. So let's get the big picture a little bit here. As you can see here, these are the overall layers of the Web3 architecture in respect to Filecoin and IPFS. You can think of your React app or the mobile app as the front-end layer, the pink box at the topmost, and Flow as the decentralized logic layer, the orange box in the middle. And the NFT storage is a kind of storage helper that interacts with the Filecoin IPFS nodes. So you don't even have to care much about the nodes at all. You don't even have to know if they exist or whatever, which is pretty great when you want to focus on just your app, for, let's say, a hackathon where you have limited amount of time. So if anyone is interested in diving deeper into IPFS and Filecoin, you can find great resources after this presentation. But the bottom line difference is IPFS helps you store files in a very decentralized way based on the content of the file instead of the locations on the internet. While Filecoin is, you can think of it as the incentivized network to make sure your files will be stored for a very long period of time by other computers in the network. Think of it as renting storage from multiple tenants with whom you don't have to argue or you can fully trust. So before we move on, I'd like to give you a heads up for the upcoming workshops on October 2nd and 9th, which will deep dive into NFT storage and Estuary, another amazing service on top of the Filecoin network. So if you missed anything today or need to learn more, those will be pretty good places to hop in next. So take note of those. All right, so what can we build with NFT storage and Flow? To give you some rough ideas, virtually any dApps you can think of. For example, of course, NFT collectibles like CryptoKitties and NVIDIA Top Shots, where you can own, collect, and trade virtual collectibles. Well, you can build NFT gaming like Zed, the virtual horse racing game, where users can own virtual horses trade them, raise them on virtual circuits. Or you can even like go very critical and think of like some very cool new applications, like tokenizing real world assets, like real estates or real artwork. We could think of, codifying lengthy contract paperwork into Flow smart contracts. Well, I'll leave the rest to you to come up with your own great apps in the course of 6 weeks. So it's time for me to demo Flow Wow, the pet store app I've made. So what's so cool about it, you ask? Well, Flow Wow Pet Store is a React app that runs on top of the Flow emulator and use Flow Dev Wallet to easily play with accounts without the need of a real wallet. So it's running locally. So if you want to develop on Flow locally, you use the Dev Wallet instead of a real wallet. It implements the common NFT on-chain transactions, such as minting and transferring tokens, and query scripts to read from the chain. So you can learn a lot from just browsing through the code base of FlowWow, which is open source, and I'll share in a moment. It uses NFT storage JavaScript library to upload pet images onto the Filecoin network during the minting process and display images hosted on IPFS. It uses Flow FCL library to facilitate interactions between the contract on the Flow emulator and the JavaScript app via Cadence. Oh, actually, the repository is actually down there, so you can start cloning, forking, playing around with it. So here, what it looks like. I built this demo in just over 2 weeks from very little knowledge of Flow, Cadence, and NFT storage. So needless to say, they are very developer friendly, and I'm very excited to see what you all will build in the course of 6 weeks during the hackathon. As you will see, Flow tooling and documentation are very easy to follow, and the Cadence language is very simple, especially if you have written any code in Swift, Kotlin, or Rust, you should feel right at home. All right, so I'm just gonna share my app running locally here for a moment. So I'll start sharing my screen right now. Okay, so first what I'll do here, this is the FlowWow repository. I'll just run the emulator and then the dev wallet altogether using Docker Compose. Alrighty, so next up, all right, I'm just gonna run the app. Okay. Starting the development server. Okay, so while we're doing that, let's make sure of one thing here. Oops. So we have to use the Flow command line to deploy our smart contract to the emulator. And that's done. All right, so let's see what it looks like now. All right, hopefully you can see the FlowWow app page right here. Let me know and if you can't see it. Okay, let's do this one more time just in case. All right, FlowWow, NFT pet store, adopt this little cute fur balls here. So as you can see here, these are pre-made pets of cat and dog variations. they're all being displayed from local file system for now. Pretty cute fellows, huh? They are not minted right now, as you can see. You can hover around. They are not minted, and you cannot do anything with it because you have to connect to your local wallet. Okay, so this is the Flow Dev wallet. You can see there's Mr. A already pre-created here. I'll just use him. So, oh no, there's something going on here. Mr. A needs to activate his collection. So what does this mean? This is how Cadence and Flow work, actually. If you have done any programming in Java or Rust, where there are access modifiers like private and public, it is very similar in Cadence. Basically, you have to create interfaces and resources, and you have to design what kind of resources you want to share from your smart contract publicly with your users. In this case, the smart contract, in which you can always check on the repo, the smart contract is sharing the collection resource to any users of FlowWow, and it has to be explicitly activated, accessed by that user. So why going through this hassle, right? Well, the good thing here is that can you imagine like scenario when you have to set a token as the owner of the token or the owner of the marketplace here? You have to send token to a wallet, a Flow wallet, and then maybe you accidentally sent to someone who's not FlowWow's user, and then the token's gone, right? Oh, he's not your user. But with this, well, it's kind of like providing this safety layer that whoever you're sending the token to, at least he had already activated the collection. So he is one of the FlowWow users, right? So you can mess with that. So let's go ahead, being Mr. A here, activate this collection. Oh, wow, what's going on here? Okay, this is like really great. This is the debt wallet showing you who is actually authorizing the transaction. And it's Mr. A here with his address shown here. It even shows the transaction code, the cadence code written. That's being in question here, is being used here. So this code is actually written by me. It's part of the FlowWow repository as well. I tried to comment all the code as much as I could so that you guys can later learn a lot from these code. So Mr. A will approve the transaction, and bam, he's already activated, and he's already ready to adopt these furballs. Okay, so Mr. A is a fan of cats. So he will start minting, of course, cats. Okay, he just mint all the cats right here. Okay, you can see that right now all the cats are actually belonging to the marketplace account. So Mr. A just minted and then deposit these pet tokens to the marketplace account, which is the master account. Then adopting a pet token, meaning transferring from the marketplace account to his account right here. So let's try to do that. Adopt, bam, now it's in his wallet. Great. He really loves cats, so he's going to take all the cats, but just for fun, he's going to mint this French bulldog as well. And then maybe this guy, Jack Russell. Okay, he's satisfied here. But he's not sure he's going to be able to take care of all 3 cats all at once. So maybe he'll just, I don't know, maybe return 1 to the marketplace. So as you can see here, you can release a pet, which is actually just transferring the token from his account back to the marketplace account. So he'll just release this guy. See, now you have to authorize, Mr. A have to authorize the transaction, because now he's transferring the token to somebody else. So he approve it. Okay, now it's available on the marketplace for anyone to grab. All right, and he locks out. And then another user comes along and create a new account, Mr. B. And then he activates his collection, approve. Okay, now you can see that, you know, some pets were already minted. Some pets were taken, 2 cats were taken by Mr. A. But since he loves dog, Mr. B will mint some other mutts here and then adopt. Right, and maybe release this guy. Something like that. Okay. So as you can see here, FlowWow includes all the basic functionalities that you want in an NFT marketplace, like minting and transferring tokens between accounts. If FlowWow were on the testnet or the mainnet, hypothetically, you could also send these tokens to the other wallets on the blockchain, and not just limiting your interactions between the marketplace and your wallet. And you can fork and clone the repository. It's right here. FlowWow here. Yeah, I mean, you can learn a lot from just browsing through. Just spin off something really cool with this project. Okay. Now let's go back to this. So now what you have been waiting for, it's coding time. So we will be working on a very minimal petshop clone, focusing on the minting process and uploading the image assets to NFT storage. I hope at this point you are ready with the starting template and all the tools you need. And if not, you can do so right now while I take a 3 minutes break to wait for you guys. Again, if you're not following along, all repositories will be available to you to self-guide yourself through at your own pace later. So yeah, I meant 3 minutes for you to set up and go grab a coffee. And Justin, if you have anything to fill in, now it's the time for you to do so.
Yep. So thank you, Pan. Before I jump off to the last part, I think there's a question from the floor that asks the difference between mint and approve. Maybe Pan, you'd like to take that question.
Yeah, sure, Justin. Okay, mint and approve. So minting is a transaction, right? So there are roughly two kinds of actions on the blockchain. So it's transactions and just queries. So minting is a form of transactions where with transactions, you need at least a user to sign off or to approve, right? Using the his or her key. I said one or more users. This is how you write transaction in Cadence. With minting here, as the user, you'll have to authorize the process. You have to use your key to approve the transaction. With the queries, you're just running the script to read some state from the chain. So you don't really need anybody to sign off on that. So that's different between approval and transactions. You approve all transactions, or maybe not you, but mostly just the owner of the contract or somebody who needs to authorize the oncoming transaction.
All right. Thank you for the explanation. I hope that answers the question. And let me just take over the screen sharing. And Right now, thank you, Pan, for the quick demonstration of the pet shop project, and also to take us through in terms of the explanation how both technology actually works and the integration as well. So once again, I'd just like to highlight that if you, any of you over here needs to, get someone for any question to have any questions of the hackathon answered, please go ahead to reach out to me, myself, Justin on Slack, or Harish as well. Or simply if we are not available on Slack, do feel free to drop us an email. If you need to reach out to any of the representatives that represents Filecoin or Flow, you can reach out to Lucas or Raquel, who represents the Filecoin IPFS side, or Morgan from Decentology, who will be representing the Flow side of things. So right now, are you ready? If you are, now is the official opening for you to start hacking, and all the best to you. Thank you for taking time to join us today. If you have any further questions, do feel free to drop it in the Slack channel that has been created for Mercury Hackathon. And also to load or save the hackathon event calendar as well, so that it gets registered on your calendar. All right. Right now, I would like to thank Discordian, Nick, and Pan for the welcome address and sharing respectively for today. And thank you all for taking time on the Friday to join us as well. Stay safe and have fun.
Thanks, Justin.